That is hilarious.
Gemma, what good questions. Just get used to where the wing looks good on you with hooded eyes.
Do your wing, do a little inner corner tight lining in there, throw a lash on, and it'll look like you have a full wing liner on.
I know, Kevin, you would go to ancient Roman times, put on your duck club, and go,
and I would say, Johnny, give me a half hour. I want to grab your hand, Timothy.
I know, Timothy. God, you made me get misty. Jesus.
Test the waters a little bit. Try curling somebody's hair at home first.
Use a Marcel iron.
And I was like, I do want to navigate just right up your nose. I had to... Something about hot orange lip.
I know. Look at this hot orange lip.
Something about it.
What is that?
This is Trixie, model actress, and then the MAC Squirt Gloss.
Oh!
Hey, you guys! Okay.
Not the squirt gloss.
Yeah, girl, there's a little squirty.
Oh my God. That's really...
Oh my God.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I love a hot orange lip.
You can really pull that off.
Thank you.
With the new blushes we just opened on Patreon, or it will be out on Patreon very soon, is one of the bonus footages, but the Morphe or the Lunar or
stunning.
The House Labs Blush Bomb in that orange. The orange.
That tangerine.
Orange. Yeah.
Tangelo or whatever it's
Tangelo,
called.
yeah. Oh, hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Beautiful and Bothered. Today is a very exciting day. The level of incompetence in this office is staggering.
Yeah. Veep, another Veep quote. We warned you,
guys.
We warned you that we were going to be quoting Veep because of...
Get used to it for the next month. Yeah. We are doing something that we have wanted to do for a very long time. We finally set up a voice memo feature on Patreon, and today we are answering your direct makeup questions.
Yeah. So if that's not a reason enough to go over to Patreon, because we're doing stuff like this. So if you know about Patreon, you're on it, you're subscribed.
Yes.
You know we're doing stuff like this on the regular channel now.
Absolutely.
Incorporating the Patreoners.
And we literally only put this up less than a day ago, and we
just
have...
for reference, yeah.
Literally tons of submissions. So if we don't get to your question... We're going to just keep all these and do these episodes. So I guarantee if you subscribe to Patreon, your question will be answered.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited too. I was thinking about this last night. I was like, it's going to be weird to hear everyone's voices.
I know.
They're real.
Put voices to the names.
We know you're real, but you know what I mean? That's just
oh my God, I'm
wild.
so excited to see if certain people submitted. Because I recognize a lot of your names because you guys comment all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
So I cannot wait to hear your voice.
And it is what time? It is almost 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Because Grubhub fucked up our order.
Which I don't understand because a DoorDash or an Uber Eats, the driver for Grubhub just has to go to the location to pick up my order with my name on it from their phone.
Yes.
So I blame Grubhub and where we ordered from because when the people got there, you're telling me that the worker said, oh, you have an order pickup for Kevin.
Here's Alyssa B's order.
Here's Alyssa B. Have a good night.
We did not order fish tacos.
No. Nor...
Yeah.
What was the other thing?
I don't even know.
Quesadilla?
Yeah, quesadilla with fries. I don't know.
And I was like, girl, and then a mahi taco or something. I was like, girl, not that. And it was all soggy. And I was like, thank God this isn't our food. So we had to then go to the restaurant, pick up our food. It was
which was still horrible.
They forgot your chicken.
Oh my God. So we're ornery.
Like, and then I didn't like my food. So.
No, it was not great. So yeah, it was Applebee's. I'll say it. I'm not ashamed. And I haven't eaten at Applebee's in... I'm not even 15 years, I think, if that 13 years since I stopped. I worked there for 2 years.
I think we went there or we were going to go there one night. And then we both looked at each other. I was like, and we went to Wendy's and we sat in the parking lot of Wendy's years and years ago.
I remember that. Yes. Yeah. God, I'm going to flash my punani.
Girl, my shorts are short.
Yeah. It's hot, man. It's 95 degrees in New Jersey today. Mm-hmm. And it's not even the heat. It's the humidity.
It's the humidity that gets you.
It's the humidity that gets you. It's so hot here. So
it is. It's gross.
even with air conditioning, it's not the gig.
No.
But yeah, that was, I don't know, man. Nothing is worse than when you're just expecting food. We filmed a lot already today. We would just want to go downstairs on our break, eat dinner, come back up. And it was an hour and a half escapade just to get the food.
Because when you were like, what did you order? And I said, oh God, not that. And I already knew. I was already hangry and I was like, get in the car. We're going to like Burger King. I don't care.
Yes. So now we have Swedish fish.
And water.
We're in a better headspace. And we specifically saved this episode for the last filming session of the day because we knew it was going to cheer us up and bring the energy.
I'm so excited to see who was the first submission.
I know. All right. Well,
so shall we get into it?
Yeah, take a little quick break and then we're going to be back answering your makeup questions. Alrighty, we are back. Let's answer these questions. So for the first question, we have a question from Thomas, probably Tomas, Tomas.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny and Kevin. I hope you are well. This is Thomas coming from you live from Georgia. My question is this. So I am a beginner makeup artist, and I need to start building my kit a little bit better. What is a good foundation or foundations that you recommend I put in my kit? Low end, high end, or your favorite? Any of it? Anything is appreciated. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Oh, Thomas!
Oh, yay. Oh, my God.
What a good first question.
Wow. Oh, my God. Okay. So I have my answer. Do you have yours?
You go first.
Okay. So I personally, for more of like a higher end option that I find more versatile to work with on clients is the Urban Decay, the Hydromaniac skin tint. Because don't let skin tint fool you. It's more of like a medium coverage.
Don't let the smooth taste fool you.
I hate you.
Benefactress.
Because then when I need to make it more full coverage, I love taking the Tarte Shape Tape.
Okay.
Original matte formula.
Yes.
With that hydrating, I take a little speck of that in the same color, mixy, and then go in. And if I need it to be a little more mattifying, I do that.
Nice.
And then when I powder it down, like when I set people like a drag queen, that foundation the skin tint, the Urban Decay can hold up against.
Yes.
Like a lot of powder and a lot of this. And brides have texted me the next day and they're like, what was it? Because my skin looked amazing all night. But it's all about how you prep too, Tomas. So keep that in mind.
Yes.
It's all about how you prep the skin, set the skin. But I love the Hydromaniac. Yes. And I also, for like a lower end option that I love is the L'Oreal. It has a red cap on it. And
the
it's
L'Oreal 24-hour fresh wear.
Yeah. Oh my God. It is so.
That was one of my staples.
So stunning.
Yes.
Yeah.
The L'Oreal, the 24-hour fresh wear, that was incredible. The L'Oreal 24-hour fresh wear, that is such a good one because it rides both lines where it can look beautiful on dry skin, but it can work on oily skin depending on how you powder it down. As long as you just make sure that you're mattifying, if someone says that they're oily, the 24-hour fresh wear is great, but it definitely does need a little bit of that powdering in that T-zone with the fresh wear. That's your traditional liquid. The Urban Decay, the Hydromaniac is beautiful because that almost has that, I don't want to say tacky, but you know what I'm talking about.
But it has
the ColourPop tinted moisturizer. It has
a
that
little
grip to it, which really blends like a dream
and
because of
laying
that.
that down on texture or anybody more mature.
Absolutely. And then I'm going to say it, Tomas. I am so sad that I didn't discover this foundation until after I stopped freelancing, but the Revlon Color Stay full cover matte foundation, because even though it says a matte foundation, it's that whipped. It literally comes out of the tube like whipped. You should check out Trixie Mattel's video when she did the full face of Revlon because she described it perfectly. It's a very silicone-based foundation, which the thing about doing bridal makeup or event makeup, etc., like as a makeup artist, is you can kind of use products and things that you maybe people don't gravitate towards on a daily basis. Like you're not going to be using a Smashbox primer every day because that silicone is going to be a lot. But for an event, you want smoothing. You want just that beautiful slip. And that's in this foundation to a much smaller degree than obviously the Smashbox primer. But you saw me use it when I did prom makeup on, and I would say both had dry skin. And my thing is like, as long as it's not overly flaky, dry skin, it is not really an uber matte foundation because of that whipped creamy kind of finish it has, but it wears like a matte foundation. So the wear on that Revlon is to die for. Honestly, in my kit, it's kind of funny. My number one, almost the whole time I was freelancing, really was the L'Oreal Infallible.
I love
but
that
I would
one.
say, the Hydromaniac. Because my thing too in a makeup kit is you kind of want at least a cocktailing of a foundation will work on everybody, and then have kind of one that is specifically, is going to be great on mature skin. Because listen, there's nothing worse when you are not prepared for it and they said, oh, by the way, can you do my 85-year-old grandmother? You got to be ready for that because you can't be putting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's that. And then on top of it too, another thing I always tell makeup artists, you do not need to go out and buy 30 shades of foundation. I freelanced personally for 6 years and I had maybe of the L'Oreal, especially because the shade range is so vast. So that's another thing to keep in mind with L'Oreal and Urban Decay. I think I had max 6 shades in my kit. I had the absolute lightest, the absolute darkest, and then I spaced it out evenly. And whoever sat in my chair, I had all 6 laid out and I mixed right there on the spot.
Because I'm
don't
not
need
kidding.
to break the bank.
Yeah, I have every shade of Urban Decay. There are ones that I've never used.
No.
And I would wait until there's like the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty or like the Ulta sale or whatever it's called, because that's when I bought the Urban Decay. And the Urban Decay was 50% off. So I paid $14.50, I think, or $15 after my discount at the time when I worked at Sephora. They were like competitive with the pricing. I paid $14 for each one. So wait until there's a sale on it and then go from there. But thank you for your question.
Thank you, Tomas. All right, next up we have Andrew Howell.
Hi, Johnny and Kevin. My name is Andrew. And my question for you two is, I have hooded eyes. So when I do my eyeliner, I have heard before that if you basically start it straight at your inner corner and come all the way over and then go straight out, it works to make a better wing if your eyes are hooded. Is this real? Because I saw a TikTok recently and the girl that did this made it look so real and easy, but I can't tell because I'm really not on social media like that. I relate to you so much, Johnny, because really the only people I follow are you and Trixie and Katya. Like, you two are like the 2 main podcasts I follow. I love everything you guys do. Thank you for your help, and I am just rambling on now. So, thank you so much. Bye.
Oh, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. My God, Trixie and Katya and
us.
Wow, yeah, incredible.
Literally. So what would you say?
So I think I have more hooded eyes than the average bear, like in the sense that it covers my eyeshadow. I think, and he was saying if you start in your inner corner, and come to the top, obviously, and then just go straight out.
I'm thinking, do you go straight, thinner, and continue?
Possibly. Yeah, it was hard to discern exactly what technique he was referring to. But all I can say personally is I am a big believer, even on myself, of doing your wing from the wing in. Because doing that work on the inside, you are gonna kind of then be going out and bringing the wing when your eyes close and you're looking in the mirror where you think it's gonna look lovely. But then when you open your eye, that's, cue the dun, 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 music.
Yeah.
Like, what I like to do with hooded eyes is you can always kind of tell when you look in the mirror where the crease from your hood ends in the area of the wing. Scotch tape is your best friend, especially when you're starting out learning, because you can open your eyes, look in the mirror, and don't even lean your head back because your brows are naturally going to lift when you do that. Look straight into the mirror, relax your face completely, and place the tape right past that wrinkle, that line of the hood, so you know that the wing is clear for landing. It's past that hood, so it's not going to get disturbed when you move your eye.
It's not going to hook.
It's not going to get messed up by that crease. So put it there, and then with your eye relaxed, start sketching the wing, just the top of the V and the inside of the V to connect, and see where and how. Don't worry about filling in that triangle. Don't worry about bringing it onto the inside. Just get used to where the wing looks good on you with hooded eyes. Then you're going to close your eye and it's going to look maybe nuts in the sense that the triangle might be like this. And then you're like, oh, wait, now I need to like make it thinner and then bigger and whatever. But with a hooded eye, no one's going to see any of that. Mm-mm. So it's all about how the wing looks when you're open-eyed and talking to someone, which is why I'm a believer in building the wing first.
And so same thing with that. And speaking on the shape where it becomes, I'm going to try and visualize this for anybody listening. You have the point, the triangle of the wing. And when you go to line the rest of your eye, like you're saying, when your eye is open, when you go to close that, once it's all said and done, you're going to almost tilt your head back and it's going to be the wing. And all of a sudden it's going to be like a drop.
Yes.
And then the rest of the liner. That is fine.
That's fine.
Because I always was in the school of thought, I had to do my eye completely shut and keep going with the wing and then draw it in. And then it was the wrong shape. Always do your liner with your eyes open, relaxed, and do it and just practice it. And that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, which is honestly why. And if it sounds like, Andrew, you follow me and maybe have seen my beauty videos. Like, that's why I'm not, on myself, I was never a big wing liner person, because to get a thinner wing, to get a thinner line on the actual eyelid, like above my lashes, that's how my wing would look, where it would be thinner and then it would all of a sudden get that thing you're talking about, where it almost goes like this and then goes up, wing down. And my OCD would never allow that to happen. Like, it had to be an Adele, like an Adele perfectly connected, which I can do. But to do that on the outside of my eye, my wing in the space between my lash line and my arch of my brow, it ends up taking up 1/3 of my lid. And I'm such an eyeshadow whore. I will spend an hour blending 7 colors beautifully ombreing into each other. I ain't covering it with liner. So you better believe I'm taking a little black shadow, giving that depth on that outer lash line and doing it that way. Another trick too, let's say you even want to get away from the tape, practice your wing with an angled liner brush and a black eyeshadow, because it's so much easier to use powder just to sketch the shape. And then you could take a makeup wipe and you're not like practicing with liner that's water. You know what I mean? That you're rubbing off. Practice with powder. Yeah.
And even like do your wing, do a little inner corner tight lining in there, throw a lash on, and it'll look like you have a full wing liner on.
Do you know how many times I do my makeup, do full eyeshadow, mascara, lashes, and then I take a little black eyeshadow and just smoke it out really on this lash line, and then take a pencil and I do my waterline, my tight line up here like that. And if I have to, I'll just go in the inner corner with it and then connect it to the lash and I'm done. And it looks like I have a liner on.
Full
when
liner.
You have hooded.
That's what I do all the time. I always do liner to connect to the lash band. Done.
Yeah. Alrighty. Next up, we have Max.
Hey, Kevin and Johnny. Y'all are amazing, and as someone who's just getting into makeup, you two truly are standouts in helping to steer everyone in the right direction. Unfortunately, as I found out, as an oily-skinned person, that has made makeup way more treacherous than initially anticipated. I either fight formulas or think I found the right thing, only to find an hour later, it is not holding up. So my question for the both of you, what are some green flags of really good formulations or products that oily people should keep in mind and stick to? And also, what are some things we should avoid? Because I seem to run the gamut here as a true oily person, and I am just looking for some major help. Thanks and love you bunches.
Oh my God, love you, Max.
Love you. Oh my God, and what a fantastic question of ingredients to look out for and also what to
avoid.
To avoid.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
All right, Max, take out a pen and paper. Starting with skincare. Your skincare prep before makeup, like daytime skincare, is going to be a completely different game. At nighttime, you can use the heaviest things you want to use, because it's like you're sleeping, your skin's regenerating as you sleep. But before makeup, make sure you're using a serum that feels very emollient and absorbs into the skin. Your skin should not have any kind of slip or wetness on it after that serum. And then I always gravitate towards gel moisturizers, like full-blown, like green toothpaste looking It Cosmetics gels. Very little bit of moisturizer. I would say even when you prep your skin before makeup, there was times I used like half as much skincare as I thought or I was going to, and that was more than enough. being oily sucks. And going back to Tomas's question, as a makeup artist, everyone is going to tell you they have dry skin. Everyone.
And then say, I get oily throughout the day.
Yeah, I have dry skin. And then when you're done with the makeup, I get really shiny. Okay, so then you don't have dry skin. Like, a number one sign, the reason I said that is because the number one sign of oily skin before you even start doing their makeup is you can see enlarged pores around the nose. And those larger pores all in here is a sign of excessive oil on the face, which is why the pores are enlarged. Even with oily skin, green flags and products are not only need to be oil combating and long wearing, they need to be texture smoothing, pore filling, blurring. It's like such a laundry list of shit where, like, let's say I just could snap my fingers and make my skin dry. With my pores, you and I could use the same disgusting powder. You won't look horrible. It won't be as good as maybe something else. I would look like the Crypt Keeper because putting that over holes like that it's
Shia LaBeouf holes.
Girl. So as far as foundations go, in my opinion, a silicone-based foundation, especially anything leaning matte, I have found anytime I use a foundation that is similar to having that whipped consistency like the Revlon, that's when I know it's going to be like within my wheelhouse, or a very creamy foundation like the Dior Forever Matte, something that has that
more binding ingredients, so it's richer and thicker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where liquid foundations on oily skin, if you pump a foundation and it's liquidy and it starts to run, I think that is a nightmare on texture and pores because it tends to just dive in and settle because you know that there's exactly no binding agent that's almost going to kind of sit on top of that
and
texture
smooth out the surface.
Or smooth out the surface. Exactly. So it's just going to sink right in because really oily skin, it comes down to your skin prep, your foundation, and your powder. That's really going to be trial and error because I've used powders that are the most finely milled, smoky powders all the way to like chunky dunky. And they can have such different effects on the skin. So I find the best long-wearing powders for oily skin are going to be One Size. Yuma Beauty Trip and Smooth powder is great for blurring. The Kimchi Chic powder and the MAC Set and Blur Studio Fix translucent powder. So yeah, there really is no primer that gobsmacks me as a oily skin person, except for the new One Size.
We're not sure yet though.
We don't know, but the new One Size primer, Andrew, I would maybe go to Sephora, play with it, check it out, because when I tell you it sucked not the moisture, but any remnants of shine out of my hands.
I put a body oil on and put it on
top of the body oil, and it was like,
snatched.
Absolutely.
That oil.
Yeah. And then I will also say as well, before you start your makeup, even if you don't have like a blotting paper, but before you start your makeup or even put your skincare on, your process, I even will take my toner on a cotton round and I will do my T-zone because I know in the 10 minutes since I've woken up and I'm going to start doing my makeup, I've accumulated oil, and you don't want to put makeup on top of that fresh oil. So just clean the skin and take her off. And if you're excessively oily, even on a regular basis, like the clay mask, like just do that like once every 2 weeks just to start controlling the oil a little bit better and balancing it. But yeah. All right, next up we have a question from Nikki.
So much respect for you two. Mwah. All right, here's my question. Rosacea girly here. What kind of foundations won't kill my face? Help. Thank you. Love to you both.
Okay, so I would actually say, like, I hate to even like give her flowers here. So Nikki, I would say go out and try, if you haven't already, the It Cosmetics.
Oh.
And I personally, for anybody, because Jamie Kern, who like famously had rosacea on QVC.
That took me a while to understand what you're saying. You're like, give her flowers. I was like, Nikki? I was like, but no, It Cosmetics, you mean.
Am I a Nikki stan?
Am I a Nikki stan?
I sure am.
We are Nikki stan.
I would say, because Jamie Kern had like awful rosacea, and It Cosmetics was developed for that.
That's why she did it.
But I would say try, if you don't love the original one in the gray, try the Nude Glow. So Nude Glow is my
So
favorite.
good.
And it's so beautiful on your skin. It's more forgiving. It's better for texture. It's better for like that lightweight. I don't like it with a sponge. Don't do it.
No.
With a brush, just like lay this in the skin and like softly pat it through with that brush. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Try Nude Glow at Cosmetics.
And, you know, and obviously because it was developed for rosacea, it is the ingredients are not going to aggravate the rosacea, flare up the rosacea in any way. But I found that the Nude Glow is the only version of those iterations that has the coverage the rest of them do, but it can be lightened if need be, where the rest of them, you bought Sherwin-Williams, you're getting Sherwin-Williams. And that's the difference. The Nude Glow has such spreadability to it, like a regular foundation, but it packs the punch of
so
the cosmetic CC creams. And then my other suggestion, as someone that I don't have rosacea, but I'm very red, the only green color correcting primer that I have not only ever loved, but that has blown me away is the Arborian CC green corrector, I believe it's called. Here's the thing with green color correctors for redness. They're either an award. They're either the Grinch who fucking stole Christmas and you then have a green patch that doesn't blend out, or it goes on green and then blends away to nothing. Like,
and then,
it's clear.
And then it turns white.
Yeah, and it does nothing. Yeah. Like, it doesn't actually color correct.
And then your redness now looks like purple,
ashy
gray.
Purple, a bruise. That's the thing about the Arborian color corrector. There are times where like when I really want to do nothing on my skin, I'll do my skincare. I will just do that. And it literally looks like I have no makeup on, but all of my redness is gone. Yeah. It's unbelievable. So try that as well as the It Cosmetics Nude Glow, because it'll end up making you have to wear less because it will lighten that redness.
Thank you, Nikki.
All right, next up we have Dakota.
Hi, my name is Dakota. My pronouns are they, them. I had a question about if you've ever done makeup either on a person who is dealing with a chronic illness, or if someone has any tips for makeup for chronic illness. Because like I have horrible temperature regulation and I can't really wear as much makeup because I feel like I can't breathe as much with it with my skin, and I just end up sweating it all off really fast no matter what I've done. I've just wondered if you guys have any tips at all. I really love the show. It's one of my favorites. It's my favorite part of my week. I've watched the show so many times, and I'm just a huge fan of you guys. If you have any advice at all about this kind of stuff, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, thank you, Dakota.
Thank you, Dakota. I would say there were times where I used to teach classes at Sephora, and we had one, the Confidence in the Face of Cancer class. And a lot of the times when people are either going through treatment or have gone through it, they have like hot flashes at times. So makeup does not stay on because, you're getting that
like they're saying the temperature regulation. Yeah.
So this, I feel like, goes kind of hand in hand. And what I always figured that worked really well, and I would see if you could still purchase this, because like the Urban Decay setting spray claiming that it like lowers your temperature of your face by like a few degrees is complete
Maybe
BS.
you could put it in the freezer.
Yeah. But I would say like go for, if you're like sweating it off, I would try like the One Size setting spray as a primer and setting spray.
As a primer is going to be big because it's going to keep the sweat even from coming through.
And Cover Effects, if you can still find it, I think on their website. Amazon. Get their cream cover foundation in like the compact. That was one of the most incredible things because A, ingredients were amazing, and B, that kind of formula, when you take that, and I would take it with like your fingertips, I would always take 3 fingers in that like and tap it in and then slowly build it up on your face, blend it out with a brush, go back in with your fingers, almost warm up the product, and then go in and start to manipulate that to your skin, set it with like a powder, and then do the rest of it, and then try the One Size again. The time of me teaching the classes, the One Size didn't exist, so we were using other mattifying setting sprays that weren't as good.
Yeah.
But now with especially the one size. I feel like that would be perfect for you. So I hope that helps.
And I would also piggyback on that, especially with the temperature regulation. That's difficult to deal with because when that happens, what are you going to do? In the sense of if you're going to sweat, you're going to sweat. Like, and even with the one size, yes, it's easy to say use that, which honestly, as a primer and a setting spray. But if you're going to sweat, you're going to sweat. Mm-hmm. So even from the philosophy of, okay, I might have flare up or et cetera, that there is that hot flash or temperature change. What do I want on my skin? The least amount of makeup as possible, where the cover FX, what Kevin's talking about, and he's right on the money, the littlest bit of that could have covered
your fingers into it like gently.
Could have covered a tattoo. So the littlest bit of that, taking something like that you can do 3 dots of it, and it is so, the pigment molecules in it are so rich that you can spread the littlest bit and get the coverage. You're wearing less foundation on the skin. So A, there's less to sweat off. B, I would also say as well, on top of everything, is get yourself a good powder puff and a good translucent powder, which I would go with the Dermablend white translucent setting powder, because it's going to be fragrance free. It's not like bells and whistles like Huda, etc. Because again, if you're dealing with a chronic illness that you don't want fragrance in the powder, like harsh chemicals, go with the Dermablend, the translucent powder, or they have different shade skin tones. But especially with the translucent, because it's clear, take that, work it into the powder puff. And this sounds silly, but like a drag queen, pat that in, because there's a reason drag queens do that. When they're under lights, that they're under basically heat lamps, that is what is completely keeping the makeup from moving, is the way you're setting it with the powder. And that's why we always steer people that like a setting spray does not do what setting powder does. Setting powder is the hero of makeup, not setting spray. So that would be another thing I'd add on the pile.
Definitely.
I can answer these all day. This is fun.
Yeah.
I feel like we're like back I feel like I work at Sephora again.
Giving advice.
That's what, like, because this is what Kevin and I would do at Sephora. We would get these questions. We would answer them like this, and that while taking them through the aisles, like we were giving them like a safari tour. Yeah. And then be like,
if you look to the left, you see the manager chewing out another manager.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. And then guide them to said product and keep explaining it.
The new girl behind the register is crying. Ignore her.
She is a liability. All right, next up we have Kathy.
Hi, Johnny and Kevin. My question is, what is the best treatment and makeup for under eye bags?
All right, Kathy.
Thank you so much. All right, treatment for under eye bags. A lot of that can be, it's accumulated fluid under the eye. It's obviously stress can attribute to it, so on and so forth. 3 little things. Cosmetology school, they always taught us, like, when you're doing your skincare, whether it be night, morning, always go from here and then bring it in under the eye, all in here, because the moisture, if there's any water or collection of fluid under the eye, it will drain down the nasal cavity by going like this. You don't want to go up and out. You want to go down and in.
From the outside in.
And drain it that way. Always that. And even if you're putting on your eye cream or you have a free 5 minutes, get a little of your moisturizer, your face cream, and give yourself a face massage and just keep doing that and draining that fluid. A. B. What is that thing called? The round thing?
So like you could get like a cryotherapy kind of like eye globe.
The little eye globe on the
wand, on the stick.
I'll put a picture in.
They have like eye globes that you put them in the fridge or freezer.
Yes.
I would say more refrigerator. You don't want them to be like ice cold, because you can like
Christmas Story, tongue stuck on the pole. Yeah.
And you're going to want to do the same thing what Johnny's saying. Start from the outside and almost apply a minimal amount of pressure. Don't go crazy, but almost hold it there for a second as you guide and keep doing those motions of that draining.
Yes.
Because then, in all honesty, I've come across this many, many times doing people's makeup with people, with anybody with like that raised texture under the eye that they do have bags, is that the color will change, but the shadows casted will not. So sometimes it looks like you might have gone through this, Kathy, where you're like, I put concealer on, but I still look dark. It's the shadow being physically casted by the raised skin from like above and below.
Yes.
So it almost looks worse when you have that evened out and it still looks like there's a shadow because now it's all one color and then these two shadows above and below.
Yeah.
So I would say focus more on
the treatment
of it. And then even doing like the reusable Dew skincare makes the reusable eye patches. Put those in the fridge, put your eye cream on, and then put those on 15, 20 minutes a day.
Yes.
Do it at night.
And I'll also throw in, check out to start, especially because it is so affordable, the Moira depuffing eye gel, and as well it has the metal tip because it's quite made to be in the fridge. So when you're putting that on, you can even just use that tool to give yourself that facial massage, but it is a depuffing eye gel. And you're right, a lot of it is going to come down to the treatment because unfortunately with makeup, if there's any kind of physical attribute to the face and skin, you can manipulate things like we can make the nose look thinner, but something like under eye bags, it's just going to be an under eye bag with makeup on top. It's not going to get rid of the raised appearance of the bag. If there's darkness there, I would say maybe look into or play around with a little bit of a color corrector. Bobbi Brown, Moira, any
MAC,
of the
even like the Prep and Prime,
any color corrector will have that peach look to it because that a little bit before your concealer, that'll work on color correcting that darkness away.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it'll come down to those treatment. All right, next up we have Juliet.
Hello, hello, hello. How do you reapply SPF once you already have your full face done?
Love.
Thank you, Juliet. I'm obsessed with that RuPaul opening. Hello, hello, hello. And they all scream.
And it's Kermit and like the wig and everything, just like,
hello, hello, hello. How do you reapply SPF?
I love this because there are many, many ways. Sprays are my favorite.
Spray.
These,
like the way these companies think we're taking our makeup off every 2 hours, reapplying our sunscreen, or putting goopy sunscreen on top of
or powder
makeup. Oh, girl, could you imagine the patchy coverage?
Of a translucent or light colored tint powder over this face
and
redoing this blush
and even imagine one of those black lights that shows you your protection from SPF. Imagine how inconsistent and patchy the protection from an SPF powder is.
Right. Elf makes a good spray.
Milani has a setting spray with SPF in it.
Oh, that's right.
And then but to be honest with you, I think even a lot of setting sprays with SPF, who knows how much SPF coverage you're getting? That's the thing. That's my thing with setting sprays with SPF. It's not really concentrated SPF, so who knows what the protection element actually is. I'm trying to think of a spray SPF that isn't greasy. You know what I mean? Almost like a dry oil, if that makes sense, because that's I would get just a full-blown SPF spray, but you want to make sure that it's not
Coola.
But Coola.
Coola makes one for the face.
Yes.
And also there's another brand. It's at Sephora. It's like Sol du Jour or something. It's like a dark blue box with like a gold trim. Amazing. I think it's like SPF of 60. And I would go for something like that.
Yes. Make sure it's 50 or more.
Yeah.
Coola is great. I forgot about the Coola because that's what I mean. I'd rather just use a spray that's intended because not even this face Coola, the aluminum spray is not that like oil, like
and they make one
grossness
for the face in that formula, which is nice. So I would try that
because that's going to give you actual SPF protection.
Yeah.
Unlike a setting spray with SPF in it, like who knows how much you're actually getting protection. So, all right, next up we have Louisa.
Hi boys, I just wanted to know if you guys can tell us how to cover up dark age spots or sunspots. I have a big, huge melasma looking thing on my left cheek, and I would love to know how to cover it up so that I can stop getting all the questions. What's going on with your cheek? Anyway, I love you boys. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Louisa. You too, Louisa.
I would say the best thing, again, is fuller coverage foundations, kind of like what we were saying with Dakota and putting on like the Cover FX cream, because that's going to be such concentrated pigment and also a little bit of a color correctory kind of moment. So I would even say like try the Arborian CC cream that's color correcting, but not the green. Try the original one. and then try putting a foundation on top of that. Almost use the Aborian as like a primer to color correct, and then go in with something like Cover FX, because any other cream foundation like KVD, like the Good Apple, is not going to be the consistency that you want. Oh, excuse me. The consistency that you want. You need something a little bit richer.
Melted peanut butter.
Yeah. Warm up that cream, tap it in,
Yeah.
and build.
Yes.
And that's going to be the best thing for you, for sure, in my opinion.
And the other thing about specific spot coverage in my mind, and how do you feel about what I'm about to say? I find the longer I've been doing this, let's say I'm even covering a tattoo, like let's say I'm covering this tattoo on my forearm. I hate to say it, but I think when there is, let's just say your skin is flawless and you have one specific spot. If you're covering that spot, it's very difficult to cover that spot and have it be full coverage enough to cover what you're covering and then just flare off into bare skin. It's not going to happen. At least that's my opinion. You have to wear
other makeup with it.
And that's the thing I think a lot of, not saying, Louisa, this is your philosophy, but I'm just more using this as a teaching moment in the sense that I have encountered a lot of people in my life that do have that one spot and they want a product that's going to cover that one spot and make it blend perfectly into their skin as if I covered this tattoo. If I covered this tattoo enough to completely not see it, I would have to put makeup on my entire arm.
To make it look seamless.
To make it look like one tone, because it's never going to look realistic enough when you need that full coverage that it's going to be able to feather away into bare skin.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of people I've encountered in my life, that's what they either think or want. And in my opinion, you need that base layer down of the makeup on so that it can blend with something, because it won't, that much of a full coverage won't blend into bare skin.
Yeah, that's where I would put like a Nude Glow CC cream at Cosmetics all over your face first, even in if you don't want to use the Aborian, put that everywhere.
Well, the Aborian with It Cosmetics might be enough, because It Cosmetics is so full coverage that the Aborian, and you're right with that as well. I feel when there's ever any kind of spot, even with rosacea or sunspots, the more you can color correct it, the better. Because you're quite literally, think of your color corrector as actually erasing the problem.
Yeah.
So you're not covering it up as much. So maybe you could then wear a lighter foundation in conjunction with that fuller coverage to cover that that product. Yeah. Check out the It Cosmetics. All right. Next up, we have Leslie.
Hi, this is Leslie Collier. My question is, how do you apply liquid eyeshadow? I love it. I have a lot of it, but the only way I seem to have figured out how to apply it is just as eyeliner. But I'd really like to play with it a lot more. If you guys could talk about how best to apply it, I would appreciate it. Love you both. Thanks.
Oh my God, love you, Leslie.
Thank you. Love you too.
I love liquid eyeshadow.
You really do.
I love it. I don't know why, because it's the pigment. I have to do less work to get pigment, because let's say I want to do red eyeshadow or like a hot pink transition color. I'm priming the lid with like a concealer to get the color even and flawless. I'm setting it with a powder. Then I'm building up that pigment with a powder so much more than give me, first of all, to answer your question, and you said you have a lot of them. I don't know what brands, but I would say my all-time favorite is the Moira matte liquid eyeshadows. The Trixies are great. Those are very colorful. I don't know if you're more of a neutral person with the liquid eyeshadows, but it's just the pigmentation. Let's cut to the fucking chase. And I'd rather put red liquid on my eye. You remember when we went to Half Magic, the Pride event, and I was doing it, and I literally was like, oh, I got up, went into the room and got the Moira red, and I was done in 2 seconds because the pigment.
Do you go straight on the lid, or do you take it on the back of the hand and then dip in?
So after I become accustomed to the formula, I know how much time I have to work with and how much time I have to play with. I would start with a swipe on the back of your hand, and this may sound silly, but dip a fluffy brush into the product and practice blending on a different part of your hand, because that's where you're going to learn, based on the formula, how quick of a dry down time do I have with this to play with it and blend. When I use the Trixie plays, those have a lot of blend time, because they almost, as you move it around, it almost turns more powdery, where the Moira is more liquid to start with. So as you blend it, A, it's more pigmented, and B, as you blend it, it's still blending liquidy. It's not turning into a powdery hybrid like Trixie's. As it's blending like a liquid Moira, it's also simultaneously drying. So you better blend those edges, girl. Like, and that's where practicing on the back of your hand is going to allow you to understand the formula better. Next step, take it to the runway, to the eyes, take it to the eyes. Like, less is more. When I'm talking the idea of a dot, like in that crease, and blend it, like put it right in the crease wherever you're going to use it. Let's say it's a matte transition. Put it in there, go right in with your fluffy, clean brush, blend, blend, blend. And then another trick that I found with liquid eyeshadows is a brush I always have next to me when I'm using liquid eyeshadows that I don't with powder is a much more stiff, dense, maybe even shorter eyeshadow blending brush. Almost think like if you could turn a pencil eraser into a brush, but make it a little bigger. That level of stiffness, that dome, and that concentration, because you want something that if I was using that on powder, that might actually like remove the powder. You know what I mean? It's not
that would buff out an edge of a liquid.
And that's why you want it. So you want to use your fluffy, normal eyeshadow brush to blend out the liquids. But if the edges start to get stubborn and you notice that it's drying down a little quicker than you would like, switch to a stiffer, denser eyeshadow brush that's going to kind of pull and drag a little bit more. And don't be afraid with a liquid eyeshadow to really buff that edge of that liquid eyeshadow with a firmer brush. And that will blend out more stubborn, dried down edges. All right, next up, we have a question from Gemma.
Hi, guys. My name is Gemma, and I love your content so much. You guys are really such an inspiration to me, and your videos always bring me so much joy. My question is, if you could create a makeup look, like a seamless look, but pull from different decades of beauty and beauty history, which elements would you take inspiration from? Like, which year or which decade from all of beauty history would you pull inspiration for, like the lips, the eyes, the complexion? And my other question is, if you could bring back like one product or a few products and show it to someone, maybe into makeup or something from like the 1800s, 1900s, do you think that they would be like interested and think it's like really awesome? Or do you think that they would honestly be like genuinely concerned? Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys. Bye.
My God, Gemma, that is hilarious.
Gemma, what good questions.
The only thing I can think of right now, Gemma, is like let's say, okay, oh my God, this is perfect. I bring them the House Labs Atomic Shake lip lacquers. Yeah. I would show them and be like, everybody's baking. Yeah. They would say, witch,
girl. With
and
that
I'm getting
sip out a wide glass and no transfer.
Doth not transfer.
Yes.
And I'm getting stoned in the town square, and I am a witch. They are chasing me out of the town.
Yeah. I would put Duck Plump or the Glam Glow Lip Plumper on Cleopatra, and as her lips burn, I would also get killed. Yeah. I'm pretty sure anything we brought back in the past would just get us either killed as witches, killed in general. I know Kevin would go to ancient Roman times, put on your duck plump, and go.
And I would say, Johnny, give me a half hour.
Like Back to the Future. You'd be like Doc, blown out hair. Just give me 20 minutes.
Yeah. The way I would have been.
Yeah. The other part of her question, I
already have it in my head. I want
a flutter.
So give me 60s eyes, with 80s color and 90s lips.
Wow, yeah.
And give me all those three things, like especially the graphic liner of the 60s, but with the 80s amount of color of like blush and eye color choices. Yes. I love that. Like, give me like graphic liner color.
Yeah. Yeah. Your orange lip. Yeah.
Yeah, my orange lip with my pink blush. Like, no kidding.
Yeah.
And like 90s, I feel like 90s like grunge aesthetic, like kind of like encompassing all of that together is so is my jam. Yeah.
Mine 20s, 30s, and a little bit of 40s. Give me
shave those brows.
Who can say where the road goes? I want Marlena Dietrich pencil brows. There is something about those makeup looks, paper thin brows, those sad, dark, blown out
Kevin Aquan.
Kate Moss
Yeah.
eyes where the eyeshadow was done in a way that it told you the emotion. You weren't giving an emotion.
That could have
and it
been
was
her
saying
wedding
it.
day and she looked upset.
And they wore it, man. They wore the makeup. And I think that's why I also love 90s makeup, because there was a resurgence of that 20s and 30s inspiration of the thin brows and the dark, blown out, smoky eyes that brought up to the brow a little. Brought up to that because we have all that lid space. Even the way you could do the lips back then, your lips were the shape you decided them to be. There was no shaming, even nowadays, of like, I don't like you overdrawing your lips, like, which Kevin's gotten DM'd many times. Back then, if you like wanted to manipulate the shape of your lips, that was the tea. Like, it just to me was like a time of the most amazing expression of makeup.
Yeah.
Where it was artistic. People made it artistic, and it wasn't just then getting into the late 40s, 50s of like, this is how my husband wants me to wear it. Like, and then now, then it became necessity, and it wasn't as daring. And so that 20s and 30s for me were always.
Oh, totally.
Oh my God. All right, next up, we have Timothy.
Hey, Johnny and Kevin. I'm a relative newcomer when it comes to the world of skincare. I currently use only Nivea for Men, Acne Wash, and Old Spice Body Wash. My question is, do you guys have any recommendations for beginner skincare products that don't require a trip to Ulta or Sephora? I'm asking because I don't believe I'm the only person that doesn't feel comfortable walking into a Ulta or Sephora because of the connotations of it being more for effeminate men in the gay community. I'm more like the character Trevor you created for your TikTok shorts and your YouTube shorts, where I'm more masculine. So I'd love any recommendations for any products that you guys deem more masculine presenting for skincare.
Oh my God. I want to grab your hand,
I
Timothy.
know, Timothy. God, you made me get misty. Jesus. Yeah. My God.
I want to walk with you.
Kick that door down.
I want to drive my car.
Timothy's here. Get out!
Drive my car through the doors of an Ulta. They all panic and say, what is going on? And I said, oh, nothing. I'm just going shopping with Timothy today. Get out, please.
Get out. Yeah.
Have one cashier when I'm ready, please. Thank you.
Totally. No,
Timothy, I respect that.
Everything you feel is completely
because
valid.
I felt that way the first time I ever went into Sephora by myself. I was like,
without a doubt,
I don't belong here. Mm-hmm. So I would say if you're in like the drugstore looking for skincare or things like that, I would say
if you have access to a Target, I will say Target has really stepped their pussy up with the whole. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Target has.
I
some
don't know
great
where
skincare.
you're located, but Target is a great. I will say that it gives Ulta vibes of the amount. Sometimes the amount of options, but with the safety of not being a beauty store. So I just throw that out there.
Target specifically, or if you ever go on Ulta.com and you look up undefined beauty, they have an amazing skincare range, which I do love. Yes. We were just talking about there on one of these episodes. I don't know when this is all coming out, but Undefined Beauty has an amazing range of SPF and everything. And everything is very user friendly. It says what it is. It's a gel moisturizer. It's good for this. Your SPF is your SPF. You have exfoliating products as well. And also at Target, I know they have Bioma. So Bioma makes one of my favorite skincare lines for more introductory skincare. That's really great for like toners and eye creams and, you know, your general things that you'll need. Target is a wonderful place to shop. If you do have one near you, it's amazing. But I do hope that one day you feel
comfortable enough,
championed enough to walk into an Ulta and a Sephora.
Absolutely.
And I wish I could go with you, because I would kick down the doors of any store.
And I would say, as well, I'm pretty sure all of the things I'm going to list are at your Walgreens, CVS, Target, Dwayne Reed. Like, I'm thinking those stores. It really also depends on any kind of skin concerns you have. So we're not sure what age you are, but let's say depending on your age, and then take into factor like, okay, does my skin feel a little dry? Do I feel a little oily? Is there anything I'm trying to do or kind of accomplish with my skincare? Or am I just looking to hydrate and protect? So to really, I would say, understand maybe what you're looking for or what ingredients are like, okay, what is hyaluronic acid doing? What's retinol doing? What's niacinamide doing? What's this? I would check out James Welsh, his YouTube channel. He's unbelievable. Face wash. I would even try the CeraVe cleansers are amazing. They're so simple, fragrance free. It literally will say dry to normal, combination to oily. It will specify what it is. I used to even love Derma E, was a very simple place to start. It had like a vitamin C, it had a hyaluronic acid. Derma E is a great one. I know that's in Target. Yeah, and then your SPFs too. I feel like Target America runs on Dunkin' and Target runs on SPF. Their SPF selection is unbelievable.
They've gotten so much better.
Yeah, without a doubt. Thank you, Timothy.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Whitney.
Hey, Johnny. Hey, Kevin. First off, I love Beautiful and Bothered. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for all the hard work you put into educating us and entertaining us. I have learned so much from you all. For my beauty question, I would love to see you two demonstrate your skincare routine. I have bought so many great products based on your recommendations. I just want to be sure I layer the right things in the right order. I want to see how you apply them, how much product you use, where you place it, etc. I'd also love to see what products you guys have in rotation right now. A nighttime routine and a daytime routine both would be awesome. And the more you can tell us about why you're using what you are and educating us about what the products do would be great. Thanks so much. Look forward to the content that comes from these voicemails. Such a fun idea.
Oh my God, thank you, Whitney.
Thank you.
Okay, well, Whitney, I think you just gave us a brilliant idea for one of the very first beauty videos when we roll out the beauty tier. Like to just I don't know why I always underestimate the people because maybe I don't watch skincare videos, but people want to watch the application of skincare. I don't know.
I think
always
we're gonna
do a cut crease, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we're always
you know
in a
what?
makeup headspace. What a simple thing, and that's
let's
so
do
funny.
a skincare video
To show how much we use, why we're layering it the way we are. So we will definitely be able to we will make that content for you so you can physically see it.
We can go more in depth, definitely, with
absolutely
skincare and why I do it and what changes.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Melissa.
Hi, Kevin and Johnny. Quick question. Have you tried In Beauty Lab, the skincare brand at Sephora? If so, what are your favorite and least favorite products? Also, is that very popular among Sephora employees? Because every time I go to Sephora, they always recommend it. So I'm just curious.
Okay, so amazing that you bring this up.
Thank you, Melissa. Yes.
Because
she just kind of unlocked a memory for me where that's so funny. So she says that is it popular because they always recommend it? Clocked, Melissa. There are almost eras where the Sephora employees, what they find to be the army pants and flip flops
of skincare
is what
and
they're gonna push. Yeah, that's funny. I forgot about that. Yeah,
it's incredible. And I have to say, coming from Sephora and then being a brand rep within Sephora, there are times where people at certain stores that you might be shopping in are recommending what the reps are pushing that day. And if the brand rep is one of their store's favorites, they're gonna be more educated on that product.
Oh my God.
So they're always gonna recommend it. We're like Caudalie, when we were at Sephora, that's Caudalie and Peter Thomas Roth.
Yes.
It's all we used to recommend to people. And granted, we would recommend it when it worked for them, but it was our go-to brands because they had everything.
Girl.
So in Beauty Project, I've tried quite literally everything. The extreme
Have I
cream,
tried this?
No.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
You would look at it and laugh.
Oh, okay.
I know you.
I probably got sent it. Because is it at Ulta?
No, Sephora. I think because I'm still kind of in it right now.
Yeah.
Why
would I laugh at it?
Why.
Cheap?
Oh, Mama, looks cheap, but honestly, the formulas are pretty good.
She's shit. Her runway was shit. Her dress
I never
is
said
shit.
she was shit.
She's shit.
She's shit.
Yeah.
No, in beauty, it's very interesting because the packaging comes off very colorful, childish, almost. Like, I just don't like it. It feels very like.
I know what you're talking about. INN Beauty. Right? It's 2 N's and it all looks like one word. I got this. I've tried it. I know what this is. I have gotten PR from it. She's shit. Her dress is shit. Okay, no, I'm not the hyperbole, Melissa. But no, in all seriousness, whatever you're about to say, I completely agree with you.
Because the Extreme Cream, one of the newest launches, feels really good, but it says it's the most anti-aging moisturizer from them. Because
that's like one of the number one things at Sephora, that brand.
No.
But popular amongst the employees?
Well, not at all stores. A lot of stores.
Girl, when I got that in PR.
Yeah, it's not anything crazy. Don't fall for the hype, Melissa, because listen, I've tried a lot.
Cheap.
And it gave me formulas are not great.
Ipsy exclusive skincare, like that would come in an Ipsy bag. That's what I thought it was.
Not you shading Ipsy, and I still have a subscription.
Seriously, I thought it was like a cheap brand. That gags me that it's even at Sephora, and B, I just found everything to be like baby's first skincare line.
Well, girl, yes.
In potency, the cocktailing of ingredients.
Oh, and the retinol product is not the business. And I mean, I've even tried other things that are supposed to be fast acting, like the acne, the pimple, spot treatment. Mama, nothing. Dry as a bone, smelled like fish. No.
Those Peace Out ones you gave me?
Oh,
phenomenal.
How incredible are Peace Out acne dots?
Oh, girl.
Gay founder, too.
Amazing.
No, so Melissa, I would say steer clear of the hype because honestly, I think there are some stores that get obsessed with brands because it feels accessible and they just they think it's so great. There are better things out there. There are more effective things out there in every single category that they do.
In my opinion, when it comes to skincare, the wackier the packaging, the more you're trying to distract from what's inside. And I don't mean colors.
No,
I'm not talking about Glow Recipe or Drunk Elephant.
No, because that packaging, words from cap to bottom.
What even is this?
No, and then I saw it and I was like, this looks like how the adults sound in Peanuts. It's just like womp, womp, like all over
That's
it, girl.
The vibe
I'm like,
I
don't know what and it's like zigzag, and then it's like, disclaimer, this might make your face fall off. And I'm like,
literally,
what was that? And then it's, I'm not into it. So no, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I've tried a bunch of it and it does nothing for me.
Okay.
So there's that.
Yeah. I think we have time for one more question.
For the night. Because girl, we're getting into demon hours over here for me. I'm getting a little spooky.
Your eyes are getting thinner and thinner. So I think we have time for one more question. We are going to hear from Leaf.
Hi, my name is Leaf. I'm an 18-year-old gay guy from suburban Iowa. And first of all, I just wanted to say, love you guys' work. You guys are true inspirations. And you're just amazing. Keep doing what you guys are doing. Love you both so much. But, so for the past 4 or 5 years, my dream has just been to go into Cosmo, do makeup on people, maybe even hair. But as you guys have been doing this for several years and you guys know what's up, what would your advice be to a beginner makeup artist? I have a lot of experience on myself and I've done my friends' makeup, but what would you say would be the best way to get myself out there? What advice would you have? Just anything you would like to share? Just because you guys have been doing this for a while and I don't know. I don't really know what else to say, but you guys are amazing. Any advice you guys have would be amazing. Love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Slay.
Dead ass, no cap.
Oh my God, I love you. Oh my God, you
Leaf.
are iconic.
I love that. Right from the first 10 seconds, I was like,
iconic.
Yeah, he gets it.
Oh my God, love you. Getting into this industry and everything, being that I've been doing this for I've been doing this for well over 10 years at this point. I wanted to get into cosmetology when I first started doing this. And my mom told me, she goes, go and do that. But you have to go get a degree first, and then I will pay for whatever you want. She's like, go do it. But then you have to go get a associate's degree first, at least. So I go and do that. I was working in a salon part-time and I realized how quickly I did not want to do hair because of the stress level, the intensity, the gall and the gumption that it took to do hair. And I was doing hair when I shouldn't have been doing hair because I didn't have a license. I wasn't in school for it. And it was not the tea. It was not the gig. I hated it. I hate your hair and makeup today.
Yeah.
I literally was so unhappy doing it. So I think it's all about exploring your options. Test the waters a little bit. Try curling somebody's hair at home first.
Use a Marcel iron. I will say this, Leaf. You're 18 years old. It is 2024. Life is too short. I don't know if we're going to be around for another 10 years. With the way everything is going, don't waste your time doing anything anybody else tells you to do. I went back to school for a bachelor's degree. Biggest waste of time. I'm not advocating right now, like, don't jump in a train and be Jack Kerouac across the country. Make sure you're set up and you're secure and you're safe. But I will say the biggest regret I have with the trajectory of my career is that you hit the nail on the head. Going to a salon and actually being in a salon, you realized you hated it. So imagine if you went to cosmetology school for 2.5 years before
and
that.
paid $20,000.
So that's another thing. Unless you want to do hair and hair only, do not waste your money on cosmetology
because they don't teach you makeup. They say you will. You're going to be learning about bones sticking out.
Bones in the skull, girl.
Bones sticking out and foot disease.
Listen, girl, you in
toenail fungus.
Fungi. Like, you in cosmetology school will literally only learn, all they teach you is how to pass the state board exam for hair. You don't even learn the creative aspects of hair in cosmetology school, really, until you're in a salon after everything is said and done. So, and trust me, you're going to go on cosmetology school tours and they're going to tell you, they're going to teach you the most world. Kevin Aquan makeup. No, don't do it. If you want to do makeup, what you're already doing is the way to do it. Practice on yourself, practice on your friends, everything about it. Even practice hair on your friends and see if that's the gig for you. As far as getting built up more in the makeup world, I think just ask yourself, like, where you see yourself or what you kind of want to do with it. Do you want to work retail cosmetics? Do you want to do television and film? Do you want to do runway? Do you want to do editorial? And if that's the case, my advice, especially in beauty, just be ambitious. Literally anybody in your area, or if you have the ability in a couple of years, if you see yourself moving, DM people and ask them if they need an assistant. Find the makeup artists that are unsung. Because I guarantee you, what people don't realize is like, Jennifer Aniston's makeup artists might have 5,000 Instagram followers. And it's because they're not about that, the presentation of it all, because they're working artists. So find them. Find the makeup artists who are doing what you want to do and reach out to them. Reach out and start it as like, I'm aspiring to do this. What's your advice? Where should I take it from here? To kind of lead into like, do you need an assistant? Yada, yada. Like, because if you go and spend $100,000 on a bachelor's degree, you're also going to be working for free as an intern. So you might as well do it for work for free for a little bit without wasting the money on the degree. So that's my thing is I just wish I had been more ambitious from the start and gone right for what I wanted. Yeah. And that would really be my advice is seek out the people that do what you want to do. That's always been my...
And no, like, I'm not joking. If it doesn't sit right with your spirit, where like I went to school at first because it felt right, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I was like, I do want to still navigate just right up your nose. I had to...
I was going to say in my eye, and I made myself laugh, and it went down the wrong pipe.
But I would say go to school if it feels right to you, and if you can afford it and everything. It's not for everybody, but I will say that helped me along my journey learn about who I am, what I want, and there were so many life lessons I learned while I was getting my associate's degree. But when it came down to get my bachelor's, I went on a college tour with this one, and I
was like, I had my backpack on, and I was like, here we go. And you were fucking
Mario going down the chute.
Literally a cutout of you in the wall with just smoke coming from the edges. You were fucking gone.
Yeah, because I knew there was something in me that knew that wasn't for me. And I was not going to be using what I was learning.
Yes.
And I knew that this life that I'm in now was where I was going to be.
Yeah.
I knew it. I felt it my whole life. The beauty industry was a calling to me. So I knew me going to get a bachelor's degree in business science wasn't going to do anything for me. And business concentrating in marketing, I was just like, I'm
fuck
not
you.
Well, because that's
that's my bachelor's degree. Yeah.
I got my associates in business science, and it was concentrating in marketing. And I was like, this is
because
not,
girl, that's,
I was like, it was cool.
Yeah.
But
I was going to do corporate
learn
cosmetics, and I realized a decade of experience as a working makeup artist with a bachelor's degree in business, a concentration in marketing, and a decade of experience. I had to know someone that worked at that cosmetics company.
Yeah.
So now being the person that the people who had the job I wanted reach out to me, none of them went to
about coming to the corporate office.
Barely any of them went to school for business. They majored in Shakespeare, and their aunt worked at that makeup thing.
Fine.
So that's what I mean. It's like those aren't an options either.
Yeah.
So I will say, girl, and you don't need to know what you want to do. Even if you end up meeting somebody and get to work with them or assist with them and it's not what you want to do. I did so many things that I didn't want to do that made me realize I did want to do what I wanted to do, if that makes sense. You have to
kiss a lot of frogs.
That's the college kind of system as it is. That's why I'm such a believer in like college should be about practicality and internships almost as the education and as the everything, because you need to do it to find out if you like it. You can't learn the philosophy of marketing and figure out if you want to work in marketing for the rest of your life, because those are two completely different things.
Yeah.
So just do things. Just get out there and do things, because even if it sucks, you're going to learn you don't want to do it. And your next decision is going to be a little better and a little better and a little better. And then you're going to land exactly where you want to be. I always kind of used other people as a way to learn how they got to be where they are. If I found someone, I would then try to find any article about them, any podcast, anything that they maybe talked about what they did or how they got their start. Like, listen, if you haven't heard it already, go back and listen episode 3 of this podcast with Erin Parsons, of her starting with getting to work with Pat McGrath and the whole 9 yards. Like, and that's kind of along the lines of what she did. She literally just like balls to the wall. Like, I don't know how she got in contact or whatever the case was, but she was like, I will do anything. I will clean your brushes. Like that level of, and that's how it happens. So, you know, I hope that helps.
Yeah.
You're fabulous.
Love that.
Oh my God, guys.
We still have so many questions.
We didn't scratch the surface. Guys, we had this posted for a day and there's like over 100 questions. So and we answered like 13. That's all we get. But this was one of the most fun episodes we've ever filmed, because we didn't need to think about what to talk about. You know what I mean?
I would love to keep doing this because I want to hear all of these questions.
I am obsessed with every single one we got, because this is what we do on a regular episode, but it almost makes us feel, when we plan episodes sometimes, we're like, they don't want to hear about this product again. You know what I mean? Like, and it's hard for us to make it feel fresh and also applicable to everyone, where this is what we do best, is analyzing, answering questions. But this covered a gamut where I guarantee everybody watching this is going to relate to something that was asked.
Yeah. So
this was so fun.
If you haven't already, head over to Patreon. This is how these people got to ask these questions for us directly.
Patreon. Yes.
And go on over right now. And
yes, because that post is going to be up on Patreon. I will probably pin it right to the top so that anybody on Patreon or freshly coming to Patreon, please do not feel like you missed the boat. Ask a question away, because I guarantee you we will get to all of these questions, because this was honestly one of the most fun.
I would love to do this again. So.
Oh my God, it's so amazing hearing all of you.
I know.
It's like crazy.
Yeah.
This room, girl, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is like, this whole thing is gutted. Right? Like, I can't believe it reaches this many people. It's really wild. We love you guys so much. This was so much fun. And my God, it was so good to hear from you. Finally, hear your voices. We can't wait to eventually meet you in person.
Yes.
Let us know what you thought of this episode, and if you want more of these, because this was super fun. Make sure to subscribe to the official Beautiful and Bothered YouTube channel for your video episode one day early. It comes out every single Sunday. And on Spotify and Apple Podcasts on Mondays, leave us a 5-star review if you can. It helps us. Share this pod with your friends and let them know how much fun it is. Most importantly, wherever you are, we hope you are happy, safe, and healthy, of legal drinking age, drunk, And remember,
you are beautiful.
Bye.
Bye, guys.